Hey guys, welcome back with another video in Basic to Advanced Linux course, and today we are going to discuss about the Linux file system, and also we will going to discuss about the basic commands about the Linux. So in the last video we discussed about the last setup, and if you haven't watched that video I would recommend to watch that video and set up your laptop first, then you can start with the Linux command. So without wasting more time, let's begin this lecture. So before going to understand about the Linux file system, the file structure, what the basically Linux creating the files when we are installing the Ubuntu or any distribution, right? So before that, we need to understand about some technical terms that we are going to use it in the Linux. And this is from the basic course. So I'm going to cover everything. If you already know about this thing, you can skip it. But for the non-technical background, who started the Linux from the basic, they can understand with this thing because they will understand me after watching this technical terms. So if you remember that, if you know that we are use if you're using a Windows, right, there are some technical words that you're using it in a daily life, like folder is a technical words, but in Linux we are saying that the directory, and both has same meaning. There is no difference between the functionality or any technical different, but the word has been changed. So if it is a directory means it is a folder. And if you know that in Windows we have a administrator access or administrator username, and suppose if you want to run any application as an administrator, you have to run as an administrator. We have the options in Windows, right? And in Linux we also have the same option, even it is more powerful than Windows. I'll come on that point later, but just for the information, I mean, in Linux we are saying that it is root instead of administrator. We are saying that root, like if you want to log in as an admin level, then you just simply go with the root username. And in Windows we are saying software, whatever you are installing in the operating system, in the application softwares, right? We are saying software. It is very common technical term, right? But in Linux we are saying packages, which might be you don't know about that, but packages and software both are same. So whatever you're installing virtually or like a software level, right, not the hardware level, it is known as packages. Whether it is system packages, whether it is application packages, like any application, Chrome browser, Teams or anything, or whether it is a utilities. So in Linux we are saying packages. So I think this is a basic thing. If you really don't know about this thing, you can understand, you can start Google more technical words, but both are same. You don't need to worry about that. So let's discuss about the Linux file system, and I'll again compare with the Windows because this is basic course and everyone watching it, and probably you can understand, you can relate with the Windows also. So like in Windows we have, when we are installing the Windows operating system, we have options. We have the directory which known as C directory, and it is created when we are installing any operating system. And if you haven't created any partition during installation, right, all the data will be stored in a C drive. But if you have created a partition of your drive, external drive, if you have external drive, if you're inserting, then you will see the multiple drives inside the file system. But the main folder, which is the root level or administrator level in the Windows, which is C directory or C drive, and it is donated as this slash. You can see here, it is donated as backward slash. And we have many folders available in this directory, and I don't want to discuss about more for the Windows. Let's discuss about the Linux, because Linux we are going to discuss in a deep, so you should have to know about everything about the Linux currently. We will discuss about Windows later in any another series, but for now we are going to discuss about only Linux. So we have many folders available when you are installing any Ubuntu or any distribution in your uh, laptop or computer, right? It is the these folders are the mainly important folder which you should have to know about that, because when you are like applying for any jobs, right, people asking that where's the logs store in the Linux. So you should know about that, where the logs file store, where is the user's data store. So you should know about the basic terms. Even if you don't know about how to check the logs, it is fine. But if you can answer this thing, you will get a job. So the first thing that you should know about that in Linux, as a root level, which is a higher level, top level domain, top level root directory, is it is donated as a forward slash. If you remember that in Windows we are using a backward slash, and with the uh, C drive, which is donated as a C drive and backward slash. But in Linux, there is no drive like as A, B, C, D. There is no drive. Everything started with the forward slash, whether it is a folder, whether it is a top level root directory, everything started from the forward slash. So if you are in the forward slash, it means you are in the top level domain. And inside that folder, I mean, this is a main folder, which is a top level or root folder. It contains many folders, and that folder known as a directory, I mean, you can call it a directory. Now we are going to discuss everything like a technical. So these are the directories inside the main directory. And the first directory, it is a root, which is containing all the data regarding the root username. So this is a username. If you want to switch your username, and if you watched my last video, we created a one user called Inder, and we have a default username which is root, and you can use to log in that username also. But if you have created any username, suppose if you have created any other user or common user which doesn't have the admin level access, that will store here. So whatever the username we have it, like you have three username A, B, C, D, everything will be stored here. Like it will create a three folders like that. And here A, B, C. So like that. In root, here all the root level username, which is the root is a domain, root is a username also, and this is a top level root directory contains a usernames, which is a root username, and the common username, which is also known as other username. So whatever the other user, right, like you are creating anything without the permission of admin level permission, it is going to store here. And all the directories, everything will be stored here. Then there is a boot folder. Boot folder is basically when you are installing, when you are just turning on your laptop, right, the system start rebooting, right, that bootable files, the configuration files for the boot manager, right, it is storing in the boot folder. So these in the Linux we have the boot folder, which is the child category of the top level root directory. Then we have a etc. Etc is basically containing all the configuration files of the application, third party applications, and even the system files also. And the user third configuration file is like that when we are installing any application, right, it contains some configuration to run that application, and that configuration file will be stored here. Do not confuse everything, because you don't need to understand, or you don't need to learn each and everything, right? You just need to know about that. I mean, what is a configuration file? Configuration file is just when we're installing any application, that configuration file created, and that file will be stored here. It is very simple. We will see in the lab also. We're just discussing about some theory. So now the next folder is user. So initially when the Unix was developed, right, all the data was for the user name, I mean users, other users, stored in the user, not in here. But then Linux was came, and Linux I mean changed something here, and they have started storing the username here. But then why the user directory is still available? Because user directory is used to contain the metadata and the user data of all users. And this is not storing any files, like if you are downloading anything as any particular user, right, it will not going to store here, but it contains all the configurations for that particular user. Now we have a bin file. bin directory, sorry, and we have a sbin also. You can see both looks like a same, right, but has some different meaning and different work also. So sbin is basically a system binary, and this bin is binary. So sbin contain all the admin level commands plus all other commands also, but the bin contains all the commands which is uh, can use a normal user but not as an administrator. Like if you log in as a normal user, then you there is some commands that you will not able to execute without the permissions. So for that you need to give run as an administrator, like we are using run as an administrator in Windows. But in Linux, if you want to run any command as a sudo, I mean as a, if you want to run any command as a admin level, then you have to use a sudo, which is like that. So if you type sudo before running any command, it will give you the high permission, which means a super user do. So again, it will we will see everything in a practical way. So just brief information. So we have a var, which basically contains all the changes, which contain all the files, which basically change the size of the application. I mean, when you executing any application, right, is it creating a new files like for logs and for for spool files, right? Um, and once you, I mean once the application, why the logs files created for diagnostic, right, for troubleshooting and other things, right, for checking what is going on, who did access this file, everything. So all the files which is basically created after launching it, or like application has particular size like 30 GB application size, right, but when it is executed, the size of the application or size of the file has been increased like 32 GB. So the 2 GB file will be stored in the var. So if the size of the file has been changed, then that file will be stored here. And again, the logs files, all the logs files stored here. We want to check the where the logs file directory, the exact path is var, then you need to give the forward slash then logs. And sorry for the handwriting because I'm just using a mouse and it's really difficult to type here. Then we have a dev folder directories. So dev is used when basically you're connecting any peripherals devices like mouse or any devices like USB is a peripherals devices, right? Then all the directories created in the dev folder. Dev is not denoted as a dev is representing a devices, and all the devices which you are connecting externally, it will store here. The data or everything is stored here. Then we have mnt. Mnt is known as mount directory, which basically role to mount the external files or directories to access and execute that particular application. And then we have a temp folder is basically containing all the temporary files. It's a temp directory. I mean, in Windows we have a folders, right, where the all the temporary files stored because of the cache and making your system more run fast. So in Linux also we have a temp folder. And again we have last directory, which is a processor directory, which contain all the processor information. So these are the basic things. Let's see what is the commands we have to learn it. So when you launch it, you need to log in as your username. So let me log in it. All right, so once you have logged in it, you need to click on this show application and search for terminal. So I have already here. So but for you, I mean maybe you don't have here, so you can launch it here. All right, I think this is enough zoom for you. Now let's start learning the commands, basic commands, and we will start discussing about the file Linux commands. Okay. So again, before going to start the commands, you should know about these meanings. So you can see when we are launching the terminal, right? It is start with some some lines here, right? And this has their own meaning. Like you logged in as in the username, right? So it is showing up here in there is a username, and then at the rate, and this is a host machine, which is a host name of this machine. And then we have this sign which donated as you currently logged in as a normal user, which is doesn't have the admin level access. And then we have a dollar sign. Dollar sign is also representing that you are currently logged in as a normal user. And sorry, this sign basically donated as you are currently in the normal user directory, not the logged in as a normal. So again, if you logged in as a normal user, you should be in the normal user directory also. So it this is like that. But if you logged in as an admin level, right? So the dollar sign will be changed as a this one, which is hash. So if it is showing up hash, means you are currently logged in as a root level. So we will see that how to switch the user, and this will change automatically. You will automatically understand what we are going to discuss. Okay, the first command I'm going to discuss about the man command, which is the manual command for all the commands that you want to check. So suppose if you don't know about any command that you are running it, but you have the command in your hand, and you want to check what is kind what we have the descriptions and what kind of command it is going to run it, right, before running the command. So you can use a manual, I mean, you need to check a specification and manual, right? So you can use a man command, and then you can put the command. Suppose I want to check a man meaning. What is a man meaning? So you can type man and hit enter. So here it is showing a man is a system manual pager, and this open a manual pager utilities. So it will allow you to read all the specification for particular command that you want to execute. And this is really amazing sometime, because when you don't know about the command meaning and you don't want to make any mess with the system, right? You can check in the manual what is the specification for that command, and that will give you the all instructions about that. For exit from this terminal, you just need to type a q. It will automatically exit from this. And there is one more command. So in Linux we are using a help command. So if you want to check any command meaning or any parameters nothing, just words, and it will basically give you more attributes added in for the commands. So if you want to check the like if you want to take a help from the Linux, so you can type this command. So this is basically telling that I need a help for this command, like a man, I need a man help. And when you're typing any command, after that command you can type a help command. It will show all the information that you have. If you scroll up, it is showing up you have a lot of parameters available that you can use it during the command. So you have see, you can read out, right? It's really easy to read out this thing. And I can simply tell that this will you will learn when you start playing with this Linux. So like here I can give you simple example, right? They are saying that you can use this hyphen question mark instead of using this one, and that will give you the same help list. So these, when you are typing help command, it will give you all the parameters, and when you need to check the specification or manual, you can use a manual command. And this is a bit very simple. And for clearing this terminal, if you want to clear this terminal, there is simple command called clear command. When you type clear, it will clear everything that you have uh, previous time. All right, so there is a one command to check the host name. If you want to check the host name, as we already discussed, this is a host name, right? But sometimes people asking that how to check a host name as giving a support, right? So you just type host name in Linux, it will give you the operating system meaning. Now this is a basic again. You just need to understand the basic terms. All right, so when you logged in as an Inder in your system, then it is asking for the password, then you able to log in as in the right, because we created a password, right? So if you want to check how many user or I mean who you are currently as a logged in, sometime what happened when you log I'm just giving you a organization uh, environment experience. When you're working on any terminal or any server, you got terminal directly, you will not be able to get a system that you're rebooting, right? So you sometimes you need to find the information like who currently, which user currently you are working on it. For that you just simply type who am I, and when you type this thing it will give you the username that you currently logged in this terminal. And this will really help when we have many multiple user in the same machine. So when you type who am I, it will give you the name of the username that you are currently logged in this terminal. But if you want to check that who logged in this system, right, with the username, then you simply type who, because currently we logged in as a, we have just one username and we logged in as a Inder. So it is telling that Inder logged in as this time, which is the same time that we have, right? Now we need to check that how many users. Sometimes happen this thing that if you want to check that how many people logged in this system and at which time it was logged in. So if you want to check this thing, you can simply type first, let's see how many parameters is available. Again, I just type who and then help command. It will give the all parameters available for this command. So if you see here, if you want to check all the user which is logged in, right, same as this one, you can use -a. So let's try this thing. When I type who space -a, and when I type this thing, it will give you the output that system is rebooted this time, and that time it was start rebooting it. So after rebooting uh, in the start logged in it at this time. So if there are multiple user logged in, then it will show in this list. Again, I'm just clearing this content or this terminal. Once this is done, I mean you should have some basic thing, right? But now if you want to see, there are multiple things available in Linux that you need to learn it, but you will not able to understand all of the things. You have to just learn basic terms first, then go step by step. So in Linux, if you know that maybe in the first lecture we discussed about the packages, right? And packages means the softwares, and in every distribution, like Linux has multiple distributions available like Ubuntu, CentOS, Kali Linux, and there are multiple Linux available distributions available, and there has their own packages manager. Package manager is, what is packages manager? The package manager help you to install the packages in your local machine with the help of the utilities. And utilities is nothing. Utilities is like a command, like if you're typing who command, it is who is a utility, and help command is a utility. So for installing any packages, you need some command to run it, right? You cannot install with the graphical user interface in the terminal. You have options here, right? Ubuntu software, but sometime just because I'm saying that, because we are going to discuss everything about the terminal. So if you want to install any application with the terminal, you need to use utilities for the package managers. And in Ubuntu we are using apt get. Also normally say that apt, and sometime we use apt get. That both meaning are same, there is no difference. So if you type apt, then install then package name. Suppose I'm typing apt install Chrome. So it will basically install the Chrome browser. And how it is in the background, what is happening when you type app install Chrome, it is first start checking in the local repositories in the Linux. So when the Linux has been installed, all the packages, again, all the packages and software utilities, everything is pre-installed, not like in Windows, like you have to install it, you have to download it from the browser, right? And in Linux we have mostly everything available. If you just type apt install the packages name, then it will automatically download it. So you but if in case you the package is not available locally, right, then you have to install it from the internet. And there is a options, I mean, you just need to go to the official website, like if you want to install a Chrome browser, you need to go to the official website, then you just need to follow the step how to download in the Linux. So this is a basic thing. And let's use a apt command for understanding more. So in Linux, like in a Windows, we have options, graphical user interface to updating the Windows operating system, right? It is sometimes automatically asking to update the Windows operating system. But when you update the Windows operating system, it asking to restart it. And it is really frustrated sometimes, because if you're working any hard um, like a if you're working any like a software that you cannot close it, right, and sometimes it is automatically restarted your laptop, and sometimes you lose your data. But in Linux there is nothing like that. I mean, everything is with the one command, I mean, and it is really fast, and you don't need to restart your laptop also. So let's see how to update the Ubuntu. For that, you need to type apt update. When you type apt, I'm using apt get. When you type apt get update, it will update the packages only, not update the uh, entire operating system, but all the packages. So when you type hit enter, it is telling that you do not have the permission to install, to update this thing. And why this is happened, because this command required a admin level, which is a root level. And for that, again, I just told you, right, if you want to run any command as an admin level, you need to use a sudo. So like sudo apt get update. When you type this command and hit enter, it will ask the password, and I'm putting the same password that I have created for the Inder username. When you hit enter, it is now start checking the packages locally. So let's see. Okay, so there is no packages available that needs to be updated. That's why we are not like a prompting that you need to update it, right? But if you want to update the entire operating system, if you want to upgrade entire system, you just simply type apt-get upgrade. Instead of update, just type upgrade. And when you type this thing, now it is telling that uh, we have to upgrade the packages which basically required to uh, uh, require the operating system packages, right? So you just need to type y, which are known as yes. So it is taking time, so I'm just skipping this part, and once it is completed, we will start the next command. All right, so packages has been upgraded. My entire operating system is upgraded. You can see here the firmware has been upgraded with this new version. So this is, you can also use it to upgrade your application and the entire operating system also. So let's clear this thing, and there is a shortcut you can use it, control plus L. When you type this thing, it will clear everything. You can use a clear command also, and you can use a control plus L. So now again, currently we are logged in as an enter, right? And when we executed this update command, which is apt installed, sorry, apt update command, it was asking us to log in as a root level or run as a root level. So we use sudo. And if you remember that when we type sudo, it start downloading the packages. But if you remember, if you see here, when we use sudo, it did not change my the username. I'm still as a ender. It is not showing up as a root, but currently as the ender. This is why, because it is just sudo. When you type sudo, it is telling that I'm just executing as a root level, not switching the user. And now if you want to switch the user to any another user or the root level, you need to use a SU. SU basically used for switching the user. Then when you type SU space, I'm just typing root because I have only two username currently, which is Inder and the root. So when you type SU, then root, it will ask again the password. I'm going to put the Inder password, and now you can see here. Currently, the username here it is changed as a root, and now you can see previously it was showing up this sign. Now it is a forward slash because I'm currently in the top level domain, top level username, and this is also changed. So this is the basic thing that you should know about that, because if you're running any command and you execute it as any uh, admin level command or root level command, right, it might cause the system. So this is for basically the user who is applying for jobs, and sometimes it is asking in interview also that how to check whether you are logged in as a root. So first thing you can check whether the username as it is donated as a hash. If it is a hash, it means that we are having a entire permission for the commands. All right, so once we have logged into any username, if you switch any username, right, how you can come back to the same user that you have logged in previously. So you simply type exit. When you type exit command, it will exit from here and then go back again with this username. And even you can use that command also. I mean, simply when you type this command, it will automatically switch the user. So this is a basic thing. I'm just clearing this again. Now, see, we have run multiple commands, and currently you are practicing a lot with the commands, and probably you are searching the command that you have already run it, right? For checking the commands that you have it in the history, you just simply type history command. When you type history, it will show all the commands that you have run it. So you can see we have run today these commands, right? So it is storing in your memory, and if you want to clear these history, this is sometime required. So suppose I want to check what the parameters is available. Again, I'm using the help command. Now it is telling that will clear the history list by deleting all the entries. You just simply type C. So let's see if it is work. Okay, now type history. All right, there is no history. So when you type this command, it will clear all the history, and this is sometimes required when you are doing the hacking and you want to clear the logs. So you can use to you have to clear your uh, history also, that this is for the clearing the logs kind of things. So let's clear this thing. Now let's move on the final things, that this is a basic command that you understand, right? And if you have any doubt, you don't need to worry about that, because I'm going to send you the KB article in the description, and you can put the comments if you have any further doubts or any kind of issues with your Linux system. So let's see now the commands that basically use to create a folders, create a directory, I mean, and delete the directory, and how to navigate it. So there are some like a file system commands that you should have to know that. So the first thing that you should know that how currently in which directory you are. So if you want to check at which directory currently you are logged in as, you simply type the pwd command, which means as present working directory. And when you type this command and hit enter, it will show the path of the current directory. And if you want to check the content available on this particular directory that you are currently logged in, you simply type ls, which is listing the content, and it is telling that we have these directories available inside this folder. And this is sometimes now if you want to create a folder, if you want to now if you want to create a directory inside this folder, inside this directory, right, how you can do that? You simply type mkdir and the folder name, which is project. I'm just typing project currently, and MKDIR means is making the directory, and then directory name. When you hit enter, now it is telling that uh, project is already existed. So if you see when we type ls command, here the project directory is already created, and it is telling that it cannot be created and file is already existed. So again, Linux is a case sensitive. If you're using any words that is already created before, right, you will not able to create it. First you need to add, you need to rename it, or maybe you need to edit the existing file. So let's first of all, if it is already existed, I want to delete this directory, which is this one. First, okay, I will, all right, I will change the name. I want to create any another folder. I'm just typing in there. So I'm creating a folder. I'm creating a directory, which name as in there. When you hit enter, you can type ls command to check whether it is created or not. So you can see here in there. Now you have created in the folder, in the directory. Now you have created a in the directory. Now if you want to navigate on this particular directory, you need to type cd, which means change the directory and then directory name. Now you can see here, I'm going to I just changed the directory and now it is showing up here. Now I just want to check whether any content is available. No. So we haven't created anything. We just created a directory known as in there, and then we just type ls to checking the list of the content. There is nothing is available. Now, if you want to go back one directory again, like you want to go back again on this directory, and for going back one directory, simply type cd, change the directory, and dot dot. And if you want to go back two directory, you can use forward slash, then dot dot. For three directory, you can use this one. So I just type this. I type ls. I'm again in back. If I type present working directory, current working directory is this one. Now, if you want to delete this folder, right? If you want to delete this directory that you have recently created, so you simply type RMDIR and the directory name. Now, if you type ls, the directory has been removed. Okay. Now let's see what we have in the project folder. I mean, now let's see what we have in the project directory. So for that, you simply type project and ls. All right. So we have many files available. That's why it was not able to delete anything. And in Linux, if you want to delete any files, so you need to use rm. And if you want to delete any directory, you have to use rmdir. So inside here, inside this project, right, we have four files available that I want to delete it, right? So how you can do that, simply type rm and the file name. You can type like that. You can type one by one also, like I can show you. If you type one time, it will delete that particular file. But if you want to delete everything inside the folder, inside the directory, sorry, then you can simply type ls, sorry, you can simply mention the file. But suppose if you have more than 100 files, right, more than files, then simply use this sign. When you use this star sign, it will delete entire content of that particular directory. When you type this command, type ls, nothing is available. All right, so let's clear this thing. And now we understand how to delete the directory, how to delete the files, and how to create a files also. And for going back one directory, you can simply type ls and here. Okay, so we understand about this thing. But now again, if you want to create a files, we understand about how to create directories, right? But how to create a files? Let's go back again on the project folder. So again in the project folder, let me see. Yes, so I'm in the project folder. So for creating a files, we have multiple options. You can use it like we have a touch command, we have cat command, and we have many editors also available. But in this basic Linux tutorial, we are going to discuss about only the cat and touch command in detail, and the editors, which is vi editors, we are going to discuss in the next video. So the cat command, first let's see what is manual saying that for the cat. When you type cat, it is telling that cat is used to print the standard output, and it is a concatenation file. So basically cat used to read the content of the file. That is a one feature. Cat is used to create a files also, and cat is used to basically merge more than two files also. So what does it mean? That if you have two files, like you have file number one, file number two, you can merge both file in one file. That basically the important role of the cat command. So if you want to create a file in cat with the cat command, you simply type cat command, cat, then you need to use a greater than sign, then you need to mention the file name. I'm again typing the file number one, and when you hit enter, now in the next line it is prompting us to type the content of inside the file. So like this is first line of this file. Now I just want to save this file. For that you need to use Control plus D, and then you will be exit from this file. Now let's see, do we have this file? All right, we have this file, and you can use the cat command to read the content also. So this, when you read the when you are reading the content, the content will not able to edit it. You just have the read permission of that particular file. So when you type cat in the file name that you want to read it, hit enter. This will show what we have inside that file. Okay, so it is basically giving the output of that particular file. And but I want to add one more file. I want to edit this file, right? If you want to edit this file, you will not able to do that with the cat command, and cat is not an editor. That's why it is a limitation. And even it's not a limitation, cat is used to, the main purpose of cat command is to merging two files in one file, or more than two files in the one file. So, and also used for giving the output of the files. But there is a one more features in cat. If you use cat command and you use double colon or double greater than sign and the same file name that you have it, and when you hit enter, it again asking for the prompt. And when you type, this is second line of this file, file one, and when you type d ls, let's see if it is written here. Okay, so when you use a double greater than sign, it will add another line from where you just left it last time. So if you use double greater than sign, you can add the new line, but you cannot edit it. But if you just use a one greater than sign, it will override the existing file. If we have this file, right, see we have this content, and if you use the again the single greater than sign and the same file name, it is asking for the prompt, right? So I'm just typing, this is the third line of this file. Okay, I'm just typing this, I'm saving this, I save this thing, I use the cat command. Now you can see here it is basically overwriting. When you use this one greater than sign, it will override the existing file. So this is the purpose of cat command. Let's create a one more two more files. I'm just creating quickly. So file number two, this is this is first line of this file number two. Okay, I'm just typing d. I'm again creating one more file. This is second line of this file. All right, so I have created three files. Now you can see when I type ls command, we have three files available. And if you type cat command again to check all the content of this files, you can simply type uh, cat. If you want to check, let's see if the star is working. Yes, when you type cat and the star, it will show all the content of the all files. So see here, we have three files available: file number one, file number two, file number three. Now if you want to merge these all files in one files, how we can do that with the cat command? So you need to use cat command, and if it is a new file, you can use this symbol, right? And the file name that you want to give the output. So basically if you're using a greater than sign, it is basically telling that I'm going to put all the content in this file. If it is already there, I will overwrite it. But if you want to add in next line, you can use a double greater than sign. Final file. Okay, I just type this one. But if you want to merge these files, you need to mention it. So I want to, sorry, I want to merge file number one with file number, wait, let's okay, I want to merge these three files. Okay, I just type cat, then file number one, file number two, and file number three will be merged on this final file. When you hit enter, now you can see here I have four files available, and we have a final file also. Let's see what we have in the final file. When you type this cat and the final file, it will give you all the output, and it is basically adding everything in this file. So this is how you can use cat command to create a files and merging the files for in one file. So let's clear everything, and let's see, we have three files. I'm removing everything and creating. Okay, so we do not have any files now. And now see what is a touch command meaning. So if you're using it, if you know that touch is basically creating an empty files also, and touch is used to create timestamps for the files. So timestamp is basically to it is basically a metadata of the file, which giving you the information regarding the access and data or everything that basically it is created, when it was created, and who accessed the file, and when it was accessed, and who modified this file. Everything will be showing up in the metadata. So with the touch command, you can change the timestamps also. Timestamp, basically you can change the access time, modify time, and the change time. And touch command can also use to create empty files. So let's see. I'm creating a empty file. When you just type touch and the file name, I'm again uh, typing this file number one. Now you can see it does not give us a prompt to type anything inside the file. Why? Because touch is doesn't have option to add any content. It just have option to create a empty files, not only one files, but you can create multiple files with one command. If you want to create file number two, or file number three, or file number four, right? When you type hit enter, we should have four files available. You can see here. Now if you want to check the content of all files, cat and the star symbol, there is nothing available. Why? Because it is creating a empty files with the touch command. But it is not only creating a files, it is creating a timestamps of the files. It is used for that. So let's see how to check the timestamp. For that you need to use a stat is for giving the status of the particular file. And if you want to check the file number one timestamp, you just type the file name, and here you go. So now you can see here we have some data available, and this metadata is representing that. You don't need to worry about everything, just understand about this thing. The file name, the size, what is the size of this file? It is 0. Why? Because it is an empty file. And this inode, you don't need to worry about that, we will discuss later. And then it was user id, was Inder who created this file. Then we have three yes, we have three four metadata which basically representing access, when this file was last accessed, when this file was last modified, and when this file was changed. And this is a birth, when this file was created initially. So this is a touch command meaning. And suppose if you want to add any content in the touch file number one, so you can use it file cat command. Simply type uh, file number one. This this is this is this is file number one, file one. I just save this file, and let's see what we have. All right, now we have edited this file, right? Now let's see if the stat has been changed for this particular file. I type this again, stat. Now you can see access time is still the old one, right? It is sorry, access time has been changed here, and the modifies time, this has been changed, and this one is also changed, but this is not changed. Why? Because it is the time that this file has been created, right? This is the information that you will get it, and this is really important when you're when you're working as an administrator level. You need to understand the logs, and when this file changed and who did change this file, everything you should know about that. All right, so I think you should understand about the cat in touch command, and because touch and cat command is not used for editing any file, but it is useful somehow, because like cat command you can use to read the content, right? And touch command you can create empty files and create a timestamp also. But this is not enough. We need to understand about how you can copy this file on one directory to another directory. So suppose we have these files available, file number one and file number two, three, four, right? If you want to this, first let's check what is a present working directory. This is your present working directory, and let's go back one directory. Now you can see I have this directory. Let's create one directory. I'm creating this. Now we have two directories, in the and project. Now if you want to copy any files from project, right, you know that we have some files here. We have four files available in the project, and I want to move that file number one in there. How you can do that? You just need to use first type pwd for checking the present working directory, and now let's use cp command. Cp used for copy the file. Then you need to give the file, where is the file available. So for that you need to type project, then file name. When you type this thing, and you can see here, currently I'm in here, right, in there, and project directory is available in there. Suppose if let me go one back, right? Right now if I type ls, I have in there folder, right? It is not we don't have the project directory, and we don't have in the directory also. We are in different directory, right? And how you can copy any files from one directory to any another directory. And this is basically understanding about the slashes, right? If you are in the same directory where the files is available, you can simply type the file name, like file name one. But if you are in different directory and you're trying to access that file, you need to mention the entire path properly. So like I'm using cp for copy the file. Then you need to mention the file directory. I'm using in there. Then you need to, now if you see here, this file number one, it is available inside this directory, right? I can use this entire path also, or I can simply type it also. Now if you type file number one, and then this is the source where the file is available, then you need to give the space. Then you need to give the destination, where you want to paste this file, right, where you want to copy this file. So again, I want to give the entire path. So Inder. I want to go again inside the Inder. I have Inder folder. So I'm just typing Inder and hit enter. Now you can see here, I'm not getting any error, right? And if you type, let's see if you want to again copy this second file, and I will not going to use this slash. I will simply type home and Inder or project and file number 2. I'm giving space and space. Yep. When you type this like this, it will show you it cannot be paste. It cannot be copy this file. Why? Because this file doesn't this directory doesn't exist, and Linux only understand when you are using this sign. So you need to give the you need to give the complete path, or you need to be on a same directory. So let's go back on the directory. Simply type in there. Okay, there is no directory. Oh, okay, so I'm putting up the wrong thing. So when you type this, yeah, so let's clear. Let's see. In there we have file number 1, which we have copied it. So this is how you can copy the file. And let's learn about how you can move the file. Right now we have the folder, which is this one. Same, instead of doing the cp, you can simply type mv for moving the files. So I'm typing project. Now I'm not using the forward slash here, right? Why? Because I'm here, I'm the files, I can simply access this directory because I'm in the inside that directory, right? I'm inside that directory which has this particular project. So now if you want to access the file and give the name, hit enter. Now you can see the file number 1 and file number 2 has been copy from here, and it should be deleted. It should be moved from the project also. And if you type this, it will go back one directory, and then I want to go in the project. So you can simply type ls. You can see the file number 2, file 2 has been moved properly. So this is how you can play with the Linux, and you will learn about a lot of commands by yourself also. And if you have any doubts regarding these commands, you can put in the chat, and we will try to reply everything. And in the next video we will discuss about the vi editor and the nano editor. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you will get a new notification.